What is poppin', guys? My name is Sammy and I've been living in Sweden for a couple of years now. In this video I'm going to share with you 3 things that I can never do again after moving to Sweden. And we're starting with the first one right now. Now the first thing that I can't be doing anymore in Sweden is shouting across the street. You see, in Iraq, I can be on one side of the country and have my cousin on the other side of the country, and we'd be having a full-out Skype conversation. Yo, what's poppin'? How you doing? Don't forget to bring me cola when you go to the shop. Make sure it's a cola diet, and don't add extra sauce to my falafel. It is completely fine, and people will just be going out their day. They won't care that we're talking and shouting across the street. It's all loud. Cars are going back and forth. It's noisy. Like, you can only focus on the sound that's directing right to you, so you can noise out everything else, but that doesn't work in Sweden. It is so quiet right now. Right as I'm filming this video, I'm sure the entire building is listening to me shouting right now. Probably somebody's gonna call the police in a few minutes, but who knows. It's just so quiet here in Sweden, and people in general are so quiet. Like, I can be cracking a joke, my friend would laugh. People in Denmark and Finland would start hearing and laughing, and they'd be like, guys, they would call the cross-border police. Guys, relax, your laugh is very loud. All of Scandinavia is hearing you, like, you gotta keep it down, you know? This never happens in Iraq because in Iraq we shout. Generally, as Arabs, and specifically Iraqis, we're very loud in general. Like, everyone has to hear what we're saying because we think that the other person doesn't hear us, and because we grew up in a place where it's so noisy, so you have to really raise your voice so the other person can hear you, because it's traffic, it's bombs, it's whatever. Like, it's just so much happening, so you really have to be loud for the other person to hear you. And we take this habit with us when we come here. We don't realize that here is so quiet, you can whisper and everyone will still hear you, even your neighbors. That been very weird, and I can't do this anymore. And just to put this in perspective, I was on a plane from Iraq to Jordan, and in the plane I was sitting like somewhere in the middle, and there was some guy, Iraqi guy, in the back of the plane having a phone call, and I can hear everything he's been saying about his sister, his family, what he's doing, where he's going, where he's gonna shop, the entire conversation. I'm like, you might as well just invite her to the plane and just start a podcast, man. Like, it's just too loud. Where on the other side, 2 Swedish people could have a very heated conversation, divorce or problem, or I don't know, selling a car or something, and you won't hear shit because they are whispering on the phone. It could be like a very serious conversation, and they're like, ja, nej, nej, ja, nej, inte idag, nej. I'm just kidding. No, but Swedish people are very quiet, very considerate, especially in terms of personal space. It's so sacred here that, like, people have like aura around them that when you step in, it's invisible. Like, they immediately notice that you trust past that thin layer of aura. Like, even if you're walking by and your elbow is like just touching this invisible aura, it's not touching them, it's just like in this aura, they'll be like, give you that look like, back off, man. If you value your life, you better back off. No, I mean, they're not that aggressive, but you get the point. Like, personal space, very secret. So, I can no longer shout in Sweden. I have to be very quiet. I can only shout in my apartment, so we're gonna do that in this video. The second thing I can no longer do after moving to Sweden is negotiating and bargaining. People here don't negotiate. Everything is set. It's a system. You don't, like, variate. Everything is set. It's a game. You just play the cards you're dealt. That's the end of it. And this is so crazy because most of the businesses here are owned by, like, huge corporations, so you don't really get to see the owners or the decision makers. Like, the employees usually are part-time students or people who are just like working. Like, they're an employee, they don't own the company themselves. So the price is not up to them. There's like an entire pricing department. Everything is set in advance, and without decisions and, like, I don't know, like corporate structure, you cannot change the prices whatsoever. So you can't really negotiate, because if you negotiate with the person, they're just a cashier, or like they're just like a sales assistant or something. They don't touch their prices. You just pay or you don't, or you leave. In Iraq is the opposite. We have many shops that are locally owned by people. So when you're in the shop, you are meeting the CEO, the owner, the founder, the co-founder, the salesperson. All of them is just one person right in front of you, and that person you can negotiate with. So if you want to buy, for example, a shoe or like a t-shirt, and it's like, I don't know, $20, you can very beautifully like get a 50% discount forcefully, with like so much awkward silence and back and forth negotiations and vague promises that I'm gonna come back and buy more from you, and I'm gonna send my cousins to you who are also gonna buy from you, and then I will not send my mom to negotiate even more with you, because you know, if my mom comes, you have to respect her, and it's gonna be like 100% discount. You might even have to pay us for us to buy the stuff from you. So let's keep it simple, and let's just, like, you know, negotiate on the 10-15%, and everyone's happy. It's a good deal for everyone. You can move on. In Sweden, you can't don't do that. If you start negotiating, they'll just call security. Like, I don't know, just walk you out the door. Sir, the door's on your left. Please feel free to get the fuck out of here, because you can't do that in Sweden. Everything is set. Now, of course, this is good and bad in some ways. The good part is you know what you can afford and what you can't afford, so you can budget properly because you know what you can afford and what you can't afford. In Iraq, you can never really budget because everything is kind of bendable sometimes. You can like be flexible in how you, I don't know, approach the prices. You can squeeze, you can bring your cousins, or like, I don't know, the trump card is your mom or like your aunt who's gonna be a master negotiator just because they have to respect her. And it's very weird, it's very awkward when you negotiate, you start sweating. I don't like it. I like it more in Sweden because you just know what you can afford and what you can't afford. You know if you want to buy something, the price is set. It takes the pressure from all parties, from you, from the person who's selling you. It's just like, just more smoother and easier, and there's less, I don't know, awkward silence and awkward stares. Now the third thing that I can never do after moving to Sweden is I cannot drive like it's GTA, or like I own the streets, you know, like you can just set any speeds and drive as any speed as I want, like I used to do in Iraq. Because in Iraq, in my small town, I'm friends with most of the police, so I started driving at the age of 15. So you drive really fast, very recklessly, it's not safe, like accidents happen all the time. In Iraq, the speed limit is just a courtesy, like speed limit who? Like who is the speed limit sign to tell me how fast I can? It's a sign, it doesn't speak, it's not even a person, you know? And with my ego as an Iraqi, like you gonna tell me, let's see who gonna stop sign, let's see who's gonna stop, try again later. And then you just drive really fast. Everything is action, and as long as like you don't care about what other people will say, you drive as fast as you want, because the only negative thing that you're probably gonna get, especially not in the big cities, in the more surrounding areas where there's not like much police and like much I don't know, laws that are being implemented where everyone knows everyone, you can drive as fast as you can, as long as you can handle the people talking shit about you, because a lot of people will be talking shit about you and shouting like, who the is this person, do they think they own the street or some shit, reckless driving, but you won't hear them because you'll have your favorite song playing. You'd have like, I don't know, PIMP by 50 Cent, and like, I don't know what you get about me, get out of me, you with me, with the PIMP, you know what I mean? So you won't hear them, and the thing is, even if they're cursing at you, would be driving so fast that you won't hear it because the curse is like already slower than you. Like they would like, fuck you. Like you won't hear, you won't get to the you part. You're just like, fuck, you know, like by the time they say you, you're already like a couple of meters away because you're like, you know, very reckless. While in Sweden, the speed limit, the law, everything is so respected. You can feel it defined in the atmosphere of the air, you know what I mean? Like you look at the sign and it says stop, you stop. Like even if you don't want to stop and there's no one, I don't know, the aura in the city, in the country, like there's some invisible eyes. You think someone's watching you, or it could be watched, or like, I don't know, like you just feel like, you know what, like, let's stop. And it's very quiet and there's no traffic, and like the risk of really having any accident here is like very, very few because they don't have traffic like Iraq. Like it's just 10 million people here, the entire country, and Baghdad alone is like 11 million people. So here is like just a forest, so you don't really have a lot of accidents. But everyone respects the law in a very beautiful way. And actually that was one of the biggest challenges when I tried to get my driving license here, because the only thing that was causing me to fail, I knew how to drive, I just did not know how to drive by the rules. Which is, I don't know if that makes me knowing how to drive or not, but I would be doing my driving test and then I'm on the road and the speed limit is like 40. And I'm not like 50, 60, like 30 or like 40 kilometers by the speed limit, and the like examiner's like, are you serious? You know, like what the hell are you doing? Like relax, tranquila, calma, andas, you know, like you don't have a race, this is not Fast and Furious. And I had this habit that I could not follow the speed limit, but after resetting my brain to the system here, I started to follow the speed limit, and then now I passed the exam and I can drive and follow the rules. Sometimes when it's on the highway, I just drive as fast as I want, but like on the city, inside the, I don't know, small roads, follow the speed limit. In Iraq, I never did this. I would just like, and the crazy part, in Iraq, most of the accidents, I would say like 99% of the accidents are like two cars or two people colliding. So if you're going down, you're taking someone with you, you're not going down alone, because the accidents are usually very brutal. While in Sweden, I think most of the accidents you see is like a person who's drunk and they would just like crash into a tree or like slide out of the road. It's not because people don't know how to drive. Everyone is so good at driving and everyone is like really good at following the rules here that you don't have two cars colliding. There's no traffic, there's nothing, people are just driving like a video game. It's very optimized. Now, the only accident you will have is your own accident, like you're gonna self-crash or something. And that is crazy, but at the same time, it's absolutely amazing here in terms of driving because you have the road for you. It's very, I don't know, optimized. It's very easy to navigate through. You don't get stuck in traffic for like 3 business years, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, these are the 3 things that I could never do or stop doing after moving to Sweden due to the difference in lifestyle and culture and how things work here. And if you like it, I'll make sure to make a part 2 where I tell you more things that I can. not or never do after moving here because it's just so weird. But anyway, I have made a list of many other videos where I get shocked by the Swedish life and how things work due to my Iraqi background. So I'll leave the list here, and I'm absolutely sure you're gonna love this video. So fasten your seatbelt and enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one.